guys, the Black Critic Guy, back with my buddy Patrick once again to review something that we just did a reaction video to, and I'm pretty sure you all know what it is. This is our review of the anime Akikan. Let's get started. So Patrick, would you kindly tell the subscribers watching this video right now what exactly Akikan is all about?
Pretty much, a guy gets a soda out of a vending machine, a girl comes out, then another guy breaks into his house talking about how the government puts girls in the soda cans so for no reason. They don't explain that, and then this other girl gets a soda, and this other girl gets a soda, and they all realize they have sodas, and then the girls fight, and then they don't fight, and then there's a villain at the end, and nothing ever gets solved or explained at all.
A bit crude, but that's the gist of this anime. This main character, Kakadu, goes to a soda machine, drinks it, and out comes this beautiful girl with blonde hair, and she's like, "Hey, I'm an Akikan," kind of thing, and smooching, and he tries to like pull the moves on her. Doesn't really work that well.
His moves?
Let's get started.
By the way, those moves do not work. Tony has tried them in real life. They don't work.
What the fuck? Anyway, so yeah, he buys a melon soda, drinks it, turns into a cute girl. Then this guy that likes men bursts into his house and explains a little bit of what she is and what her purpose is and all that stuff. They have to fight other
They don't even
Akikan.
explain that.
Well, they explain vaguely.
He says we're having an election, pretty much, to determine whether or not they like aluminum or steel cans more.
Which we even discussed it in the video. Like, why can't they just make the decision? Why do they have to?
When Mountain Dew is like, "Great, what flavor do you want?" Text whatever, and that's it. We don't have to start a war. We have to put women in cans.
They go to such extremes too.
They don't explain how they did it.
They don't explain the technology behind it.
Why they did it.
Like, were they originally people, or were they like?
Yeah, it was
designed in a factory to have like to simulate the female figure.
So what, did they put like an embryo in a Pepsi? And
but you know what? The main thing you need to take away from this review is you should not overthink this anime, because when you start thinking about it, the more the story and the plot comes crumbling down.
Yeah.
But when you just turn your brain off and enjoy it,
yeah, it's just that it's definitely one of those animes for sure.
It is freaking hilarious. Now, the story behind how I received this lovely anime is kind of an interesting one. Did I tell you how this all came about? Well, so basically, I reviewed these two anime about a couple months ago, I think back in March or April. The first was called Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, which is basically about this teacher who goes into the woods and encounters a dragon. They kind of bond with each other. She was drunk and inebriated, and the dragon kind of formed a connection with her and ended up going to her house. And at first, she was just a dragon, but then she transforms into a beautiful girl with big tits. And I was like, they took dragons, the most feared and powerful of all mythical creatures, and turned them into cute girls with big tits. And I was like, what the hell? And then I saw another anime right after that one called Interviews with Monster Girls, where they took famous literary monsters and turned them again into cute girls. And I was like, what's next? Inanimate objects? And somebody posted on my Facebook fan page a link to some show called Akikan. I read the description. A guy drinks a soda, the soda can turns into a girl. I'm like, well, that tops that. And then I guess somebody just thought of sending it to me. They had the brilliant idea of like, you know what?
Whoever you are, you're a hero.
Yes, because
Thank you.
This anime, for most of it, not all of it, but for most of it, it's actually pretty enjoyable. Yeah. So I'm actually glad that Pat chose to watch this. This is the one that we watched to react to. So I guess now with that backstory out of the way, let's talk about some of the things that we liked about the anime and things that we didn't like. Starting off with you, Patrick, what are some elements to Akikan that you really enjoyed?
The fact that I don't have to think. It's like, and I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just like you know how sometimes you just want to like come home and just watch an anime.
Watch a trashy anime.
Just have something that'll entertain you.
So kind of like how some people watch Jerry Springer just to make themselves feel better about their lives.
I wouldn't put it on the same level as Jerry. I mean, it's not raunchy.
It's raunchy.
It's just trash.
It's raunchy.
So I know those sound like synonyms, but the show is just what it is. It's just Akikan. Like there's nothing to really compare it to, because there's nothing that obviously makes women come out of sodas, but the characters themselves and the situations they get into, you see in a lot of different anime. It's kind of just like
It's almost like a conventional ecchi anime, but this
Yeah.
time instead of like a bunch of high school girls that are trying to get on the main character's dick, it's a guy who just happened to drink a soda can that turned into a girl, and then other people also drink soda cans that turn into girls, basically.
I mean, it's a good anime just to be entertained. Definitely not anything if you're looking for like deep story.
Yeah, don't look for a deep
Don't even
story.
try to look, because the second you look, everything just falls apart.
Yeah, and we'll get into that a little later. But so you mentioned a little bit about the characters.
Yeah.
What did you think of the characters, all of them?
At the beginning, especially like the relationship between the Akikan and the main person who
Melon
their-
and
their
Kakadu?
own 'em- yeah, but like just in general, like their relationship and all the other owners and sodas, it was like you didn't care because even the anime, like they tried to make such dramatic scenes to where I think they were thinking that you would care about what's happening, but I'm literally sitting there and
Get back to the jokes.
People are getting shot, people are crying, and people are sad, and I'm literally like, what? Like,
who are you? Why
like
do
this
we care?
is a can of soda. Like that's all I kept thinking about in my head whenever they tried to get serious. It's like this is all about a can of soda and just different flavors. I guess they're juice, carbonated juice, whatever. Carbonated juice is soda, but I don't. Yeah.
What do you make of it? Like I'm supposed to be attached to this inanimate object. I feel you, but we're getting more into like the negative aspect. I mean, like, what did you think of some of the characters? Did you like any of them? And who really stood out to you?
Oh gosh, I forgot his name.
Oh, Otoya?
Yes, Otoya-san.
He's the guy that burst into the house. Like, remember if you guys saw our reaction video, he was the one that opens the door and goes, yo!
Yeah, I like him.
And he had the sign that says, men, I like them.
I like them. Yeah, and then at the beginning, we didn't realize, but there's a guy like running out of his room with his shirt off, like half off, crying. At the beginning, we were like, what the fuck?
We thought actually that was Kakeru running out of his house because he got attacked, so it was a weird transition actually, editing-wise. It was kind of disjointed.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then we finally watched it again and we said, you know what, that makes so much sense.
That makes a lot of sense.
Especially because later on in the series, he approaches another guy who I think is the second best character in the show.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I agree.
He leads him into the restroom. It's like, oh yeah, I know where the girl that you're looking for. Let's go this way. It's like, oh, we're walking to the toilet. It's like, yeah, don't worry.
2 minutes later, sprinting out
He
his pants off.
pulling his pants up. Otoya-san is the funniest character in the show. He is basically what the show is. It's just lunacy to the nth degree, and it goes full on with it. Even though, you know, he's kind of a pedophile, it's hard to like justify it. We're not really justifying it. It's clearly aware that he's over the top, and they embrace it. They have fun with it, and it's fucking hilarious. And then, like I said, the second best character, in my opinion, I actually do not remember his name.
And that's the whole concept.
Wait, no, his name was Jigoro.
Well, yeah, his name changed. Like, well, he had
Jigoro
one name,
and Jiziru.
but the presence or
his presence.
No, the premise behind the character was that you weren't supposed to know he was even there. He was pretty much invisible. Like, there's even one scene where he was literally like, they're having a conversation and he comes in the background like see-through. And he's invisible trying to talk and no one even recognizes him.
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm right here. And then he'll just pop up and people will look at him like, oh, I didn't even notice you were there.
Yeah.
He was hilarious. And he had like this really interesting relationship, or he liked one of the girls in the anime, whose name I also do not remember.
Witch.
She was a witch, yeah.
For some reason.
We'll get to that too later on. But he likes her and he can't seem to confess his feelings to her. Yeah. Every time he tries to attempt, she just kind of either ignores him, beats him up, something happens that stops him from advancing.
The thing is though, like, he is honestly the only character in the entire show where if something happened to him, I'd actually be a little upset.
I would too.
I had a connection with him, and the whole purpose of him is for you not to have a connection with him because he's not there.
So Pat, I think we can both agree that this anime was not plot driven. It didn't give a shit about telling a coherent narrative. It mostly was just trying to be over the top and hilarious. So what did you think about the comedy of the show?
The comedy is what makes it, in my opinion.
The first episode. The first episode is the best episode. It's the funniest. We were dying of laughter almost every other minute.
Yeah.
It was one funny scene after the next.
Yeah, I like that.
And in my opinion, it just kind of went downhill from there. There was never an episode funnier than the first episode.
Yeah, I agree. It kind of like, first episode was a lot of fun, and then a couple episodes after that, it seemed like they tried to get into a little serious of a storyline, and then they were like, this isn't working, and then they started just doing some more random stuff, and unfortunately, they started like filling in the holes and not explaining a lot of stuff.
And then we started questioning things and the logic behind the world, and we're like, just get back to the comedy that you were doing so well with it.
Yeah, if they just stuck to the comedy the whole time,
Mm-hmm.
I'd like it a lot more. I mean, it's still enjoyable though.
Basically, most of what Patrick said, I agree with. The two best characters were Otoya-san and that one invisible dude. The comedy was really good when they were actually focusing on being comedic and doing hilarious situations. I would say that most of the characters, as much as they are kind of generic, I enjoyed them to a certain degree. I won't say they're the worst characters. They aren't the best developed characters, but they worked for the world that they were in. They were enjoyable. The main character, I'm hit or miss about, because I like him when he's being over the top, but I hate him when he's being the cliche romantic comedy lead, where he acts all bashful and shy all of a sudden when he's in like these situations where the girls literally throw themselves onto him. He's like, "Whoa."
The girl's like, "Oh, can I wash your back?" He's like, "I'm about to have sex with you." And then she comes in, she's like, "You want to have sex?" He's like, "Oh, shit."
Whoa. No, he wasn't like, "Oh shit." He was like,
so scared.
"Whoa."
Yeah, but I'm like,
kinda
on the inside, he's like, "Oh shit, it's actually like, there's a potential that this could happen. I'm not ready for it."
He was flip-floppy a lot, and that's actually a major problem with the show. Again, I'll get to that later.
Yeah.
The voice acting, not that bad. I will say the guy who voices Kakadu felt like the one that was having the most fun.
Yeah.
He put a lot of energy in his performance. I liked it.
Yeah,
Otoya-san, the other guy, he was also pretty good. All the girls, they all kind of just blended together. They all sound
like the same voice.
Yeah.
Like if you don't think about it, they all just sound the same.
I did not like the girl who voiced the main chick, Melon. She just didn't sound like a tsundere to me. Her voice acting was subpar at best. I guess with all that said, let's dive into the negatives of the show.
This show is shit. All the negatives. I got so many negatives about this shit. It's garbage. Go ahead, Tony. What do you think about the negatives of the show?
Okay, my biggest problem with this anime, and Patrick already alluded to it, is the fact that they were trying to take their concept of a guy that buys a soda can one day, drinks it, and it turns into a girl seriously. There are many episodes, many moments where it just turns into this melodrama bullshit. And I'm like, don't do that. I hate when, like, over the top, crazy anime with these ludicrous concepts think that they can, like, have their cake and eat it too by being dramatic all of a sudden. And like, remember that one time where he got into a fight with Melon, and he's like, he goes to the girl with the blue hair, he's like, let me stay at your house for a while. And then Melon's like walking the streets of Japan.
Walking around,
Yeah, and then they end up showing up, or they end up coming back together in the next episode. And I'm like, what was even the point? Like, I understand they're trying to kind of show more dimensions to these characters by doing all these dramatic scenes, but they just don't work because the relationships between the characters are very subpar. They're substandard. You know that they're together, but you don't really feel like they've grown closer.
You don't really care.
Exactly. There's not a lot of development given to them.
Sodas. And I wouldn't give a.
It would have been the same thing. You would have had the same feelings about them. They didn't take the time to really mold and craft these relationships to make them feel so dynamic, make them feel genuine. Now, there were moments, I would say, that had hints of some strong development. Like, there's an episode where Kakadu and Melon are hanging out. She gets a second job.
Yeah.
And their banter felt very genuine. And the whole lead up at the end where they start playing catch with each other, I kind of bought that. But then after that episode, it's back to square one again. It's like there's no furtherance of their relationship. Same thing goes with like the blue-haired chick and Yell. Like, you want to talk about flip-flopping?
Yeah, it was like, I love you.
No. At first it was get the fuck out of my face. I don't care about you. I'll never care about you. And then she sees these two characters bond one time. She's like, oh, Yell, I've missed you. Where you been? I'm like, what? Didn't you just tell her like a few minutes ago?
Yeah, and then she saw the date, and she's like, go teach him a lesson. So the other one's trying to murder him, and she stops it, and she gets mad that she tried to murder him. She's like, get the fuck out of my face again.
How dare you do what I told you to do?
And then Cockroach just shows up. He's like, we gotta care about our sodas. And she was like, I love you. Went and found the girl again. I was like, what?
That's basically it.
Yeah.
Cockadoo has like a small speech with her, and she's like, okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Speaking of Cockadoo and the blue-haired girl, like, they're supposed to be childhood friends and all, and she's supposed to be the secondary love interest for Cockadoo. But again, I just didn't really feel like they were all that close. I didn't feel a connection between them. Yeah. And the love triangle is probably one of the weaker love triangles I've seen in a rom-com, because both of the love interests aren't that interesting. The main character, he's okay, but he's not stimulating as a main character, nor does the love triangle ever really come into play that much. They don't really utilize that love triangle to the fullest that they could. You know, it could have made for many hilarious comical situations, and maybe even some funny misunderstandings here and there.
But the only times that the love triangle was really prevalent, they were misunderstandings, but they were only sad.
Yeah, basically.
Because the one girl would just cry and run away, and then the other guy would almost get murdered.
And I've mentioned this before in many other videos. Love triangles only work when they're taken with, or if they're done comedically. When you take them seriously, most of the times they don't work, especially when it's not executed properly. And that's the case here in Akikan. The love triangle, the drama behind the love triangle, wasn't executed properly. And bouncing off of that, the characters are the exact same way. They suffer from the same problem. At first they saw very comedic and hilarious, you know, embracing the over-the-top, ridiculous nature of the anime's premise.
Yeah.
But then, all of a sudden, they would turn all dramatic and serious. They even gave Kakaru this backstory where he saves the blue-haired chick from these 3 guys after shooting them twice, and all 3 of them go down.
Yeah, he shoots down 3 guys with 2 bullets.
One of them was the magic bullet that killed JFK. But the kicker, none of them died.
Yeah, she's like, but they're all okay.
They were just injured and stuff. Now, had they, killed him, I think it would have been much more impactful.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It was like they wanted to get deep.
They wanted to go all the way.
Deep, they're like, ooh.
They pulled back a little bit.
Yeah.
They half-assed it. They got halfway there.
They weren't
like,
confident in it. They weren't confident in the depressive, the backstory.
And just seeing them trying to take these characters seriously was so jarring because they worked so well as comedic characters. And again, it goes back to the execution. The drama scenes with the characters, kind of exploring the past of these characters, just didn't register. What about you, Pat? Did you have the same problem with the characters as I did? How they kind of flip-flop back from being comedic, woo-hoo, wacky, and then, oh my god, it's so serious. Oh
yeah,
my god.
I think they worked really well as comedic characters, and they're introduced that way, so you're used to it. Because the scenes where they're trying to be serious aren't very prevalent. It's like they'll just randomly throw it in there to try and add some story, and then they'll hop right back into being funny.
Sometimes at a drop of a dime, too.
Yeah, so you're already used to them being really funny, and then when they try to be serious again, you're like, wait, that's not your purpose here. And then when it goes back to being funny again, you're like, okay, this fits, and then they go right back to being dramatic again. I think they're better as comedic characters for sure. I don't think they should have been going back and forth with the drama and stuff. I don't even think there needed to be any sort of deep story for any of the characters, really. Because the whole show, there's no deep story overall. So why do I care what each character's story has, what the relevance is from their stories to the main story of the anime when there's no real main story at all?
It's kind of funny you bring that up, like the main story.
Yeah.
Like the main story is about these Akikans battling each other because they have to partake in something called the Akikan Elect, where they choose a can, as we mentioned earlier. But the thing is, halfway through the anime, it's abandoned. And I think that might be because at the time that this anime was released, this anime was released in 2009, the light novel for the anime was released in 2007. So maybe they caught up to the source material halfway through production, and then the rest of it was just filler, because the anime changes tones all of a sudden.
It becomes even the 2 girls, the sports drink girl and Melon. They were supposed to be like the 2, like that's what we thought. They were kind of just like
the 2 adversaries of the anime
all the time. Yeah. And we thought Yell was going to be like the main antagonist, and they were going to fight.
Yeah.
And then like an episode later, they become best friends.
They go to school together. Now it's all BCG now.
I'm like, what? And
they make one idle threat in that one episode, and then no, it's fine. Yeah, they even remember that one episode with the cliche pool beach episode. Yeah, they have one of those anime rom-com cliche number 10. And basically, they both are just buddies in that episode, stalking Kakaru and the blue-haired chick.
Yeah.
If this was a couple episodes before, they would have been at each other's throats. And that was just so weird. Like, halfway through the anime, they just turn into a conventional rom-com story. And it was weird to me because I'm like, well, I mean, if you're just going to embrace, like, the concept of them fighting each other, why not go full steam ahead?
All the way, yeah.
Yeah, but no, it just...
But they had to make room for the real villain the whole time.
Oh, yeah, they throw in a villain at the last minute.
So listen to this. Let me see this case. This character on...
the pink one.
Yeah, there you go. you look at the cover and you think, gosh, she's gonna be a main soda.
Yeah, she's gonna be her rival maybe in the show.
You get all the way, there's 12 episodes total. You get all the way to episode 10. And she just magically shows up.
She's the
no
main
story
adversary.
behind her, no foreshadowing, nothing. She just shows up and she says, I'm a mixed juice. And starts drinking the girls, and then I guess that's like the main storyline.
She's the main adversary now, apparently. You know, again, and it just comes out of nowhere. They do explore her story in those 2 episodes, but the story
is so dumb.
It's stupid. And the fact that they took, and the thing is, the tone of the way that she told the story made it seem like it was this serious thing that devastated her. And when we were watching it, we were laughing. We were laughing our asses off. And we'll tell you what it is. Patrick, tell them.
So, alright, you drink your soda. Your mouth makes contact with the liquid, a woman comes out.
And you
become their owner.
Yeah, basically.
In this situation, for the main villain, a young boy buys a soda. A cat scares him from the top of the vending machine. The boy freaks out and throws a soda in the air. And as the liquid is falling out of the can and the cat's jumping out, the cat's tongue barely makes contact with the liquid. Spawns the girl. She calls the cat her owner and it runs away. And ever since then, she's been on vengeance streak, trying to kill all the other juices because her owner ditched her.
Because her owner was a cat. And here's the kicker. Guess who the cat was?
He was on the roof the whole time.
I was on the roof the whole time. The cat that we see in every episode that's just lazily sleeping on top of Cockadoo's roof. Yeah. The one that goes like that all the time. That's her owner. That's her owner.
Could have prevented the whole thing. The whole war. The whole elect.
And keep in mind, that was supposed to be taken seriously. Like, that was supposed to be such a dramatic thing for her. It was so devastating to her.
She had to go around and become a mixed juice.
You know what would have been fun? Like, it would have been great if the characters, when they heard that story, they're like, seriously? Like, a cat?
Yeah.
Like, if they reacted in like they were astonished and they couldn't believe it, then I think that would have worked. If it was played for laughs, it would have been amazing.
Did she show someone a picture of the cat?
No, Toya-san shows her.
Okay.
Actually, your owner's still around. He's in the area. It shows the picture, and it's literally a shot. It's a frame of animation from the episode where he yawns. Like, it's directly ripped from it. I'm like, wow, so lazy, huh?
How did he know it was the cat?
I don't know. It's not explained.
None of it's explained.
That's another problem with the story. There's so many things that are brought up that aren't explained. Like, what the hell is the Akikan elect? Why is it in place?
How did they do it?
How did they create it? And what are they like? Do they have like experiments? Do they have like a control group? Or they just throw out the cans randomly, and whoever opens it, that becomes the Akikan. Like, what is the process? And I know what you're all gonna say. Don't overthink it. Why are you guys overthinking it? But it's a vital part of the anime. It's like the main part of the story. And if you can't even clarify that, what's the point? That's supposed to be the driving force of the story. The Akikan elect. They're supposed to all fight each other to see who's the best, aluminum or steel.
No, for what purpose, though? They didn't even explain what they were going to do. Like why
if you win, what happens?
Yeah, why do we have to pick one?
Does that mean, like, you're the head of the company?
And then what about the old school plastic juice bags you used to get in elementary school? Do they have plastic juice girls?
Maybe that will be in the sequel. Like, they do another experiment, but this time it's the plastic.
Dude, there are so many parodies that could be made.
We could write a better story dealing with this ludicrous concept, and it'd be 10 times funnier.
I do want to give them credit, because each title for every episode is, can you feel this?
Really?
Can this person
You want to give
that?
them credit for lazy
Hell yeah,
puns?
absolutely. No, that was great. It's in all caps too, and we didn't even notice till like episode 4.
You noticed it. I didn't notice it. But it's still a lazy pun, though. Can you do this?
It's just overall, if you don't watch anything else in this review, you don't remember. This is just a cheesy anime, and the only purpose that it has is just to fill in some time and entertain you. That is absolutely it. That's it. So when they add cheesy puns like that, it just adds on to more of the wow factor for me of like, wow, I can't believe I'm fucking watching
but if it's a cheesy anime, why didn't it just go all the way? Why throw in the drama then?
I wish that when they fought every time one of them took damage, there was like it switched to an animation of like a soda slowly pouring a little bit of juice
Well,
out.
why not when they get injured, like they start oozing out juice, right?
That's stupid.
No, that's stupid.
That would
but
make the anime stupid, Tony.
It's a fucking anime about a guy that drinks a soda can that turns to a girl. What did you expect? Woo! Okay, now that we have said everything that we need to say, is there anything else you want to bring up? The animation was pretty subpar too, but I mean, it was made back in 2009, so not really expecting much.
You did appreciate the fact that every time he got blown up, though, they kept the shadow mark.
Yeah, I like
Little
continuity in anime. Yeah, you know, that was nice. But the animation, for the most part, was pretty subpar. The music to me was forgettable, and it was annoyingly poppy too.
The intro.
Annoyingly poppy. It was annoyingly poppy.
It was catchy though.
No, it wasn't. What? No, it was not. It was not catchy. Don't listen. No. Don't listen. I'm the Black Critic Guy. You listen to me. You listen to me. You listen to me. Overall, Pat, what would you say about this anime? You kind of summed it up earlier, but
I liked it.
What was your grade for this?
I actually liked it. It was
when it was being stupid and silly and over the top.
Yeah, I mean it was. I don't know. It's a good show just to be entertained, like I've said a million times before. You're not looking for anything deep. You're not looking for anything complicated and complex. Just watch this show. It's a good laugh, and it'll get you through. Actually, I think it's actually one of those good shows where you just watch it where you're kind of in a bad mood, and you just watch it and you're just like, what the fuck? And it kind of makes you forget about other stuff because you're just so. It's weird. Like for me at least, the story's not deep, so it doesn't pull me in mentally. But there is a piece of my head that is pulled in because I'm just like, well, what weird thing
what was that?
is Otoya gonna do next?
So what would your grade be for the show?
What do you grade it out of 5?
I don't do a rating system. I just do a wording system. But for you, out of 5 stars, what would you give it?
God, if I'm being serious, I'd probably give it like a 5 out. No, I'm just kidding.
Whoa! You're gonna give it the same grade as School Rumble?
Oh,
Get
no.
the fuck out of here.
School Rumble's a 5. I'm giving this one like a solid 2.5, 3.
2.5, 3?
Yeah, because I mean, it'll get you by. I wouldn't recommend, like, if someone asked me for a random anime, I would think about School Rumble or some other anime, like, you know, it's definitely not a prevalent one.
This is basically like an anime you play in the background, basically.
This is the kind of anime that you watch when somebody's trying to get you to watch something bad, but you actually end up enjoying it on YouTube.
So basically what we're doing right now.
Exactly.
I guess what I'll say about this anime is that it's not the best anime, as Patrick mentioned. There are a lot of problems with it. I have problems with the story. I didn't like how they developed the characters. I didn't really feel a strong bond between them. But was it entertaining? Yes. I would dare say that this anime is a guilty pleasure. Like, if I just want to see something ludicrous and something to make me go, what the fuck, and laugh my ass off, this is an anime that I would definitely check out. But would I recommend it highly over other anime? No. You know, if there's something, like, stupid that I would say, yeah, go check it out, maybe you might have a good laugh.
Or if you're trolling somebody.
If you're trolling somebody, yeah, this would be the anime you recommend. Overall, I would say that it's okay. You know, it's fine. There's some fun stuff to it. I definitely had a lot of fun watching it with Patrick. Yeah, but there are some moments in the anime where, one, they focus on the drama, and it just loses all of my attention because I don't really care much about the characters or the story, so the drama has no impact on me. And then there are some episodes that are just straight up boring, and the comedy in these episodes does not work. Like, there's that one episode that focuses solely on the Akikan girls. And,
we just skipped that.
Yeah, we just skipped it because it was boring. No, we didn't really care. And there's some episodes that just weren't all that funny. So yeah, overall it's just, it's okay. But as always, guys, we're not the end-all be-all opinion when it comes to Akikan. We would love to know what you guys thought about this crazy, ludicrous anime.
Did you love it? Did you hate it? And what is the most ludicrous concept you have seen in an anime?
Comment below and let us know. Wait, hey. Let me do my part, okay?
By the way, Tony didn't put my link in the description. So if you guys...
What are you doing with my hand?
Hey guys, Black Critic Guy here, and I didn't put the link in the description to Patrick's channel. So go ahead, I'm going to make sure I put it in this description below. Till the next time, guys. Peace, YouTube.
That's not how you do it. That's not how you do it. I will put a link to Patrick's channel. It'll be in the description and at the end of this video. Thank you so much, Pat, for for a wonderful time in Colorado.
He's leaving.
Yeah, today is the day I'm leaving. Yes.
I have to drop him off at the airport
in about a couple hours, actually.
2 hours. We didn't even order the pizza.
We're gonna order it soon, but thank you for showing me a wonderful time here in Colorado. But thank you, Pat, for inviting me over. I had a lot of fun. Thank you for sitting and watching this ludicrous anime with me.
It was actually fun.
And yeah, it was a lot of fun. You know, we haven't seen we haven't watched a crazy anime like this since. God, what was the last crazy anime we saw?
Literally School Rumble.
Yeah, we haven't seen one like
2000. Fuck.
2000 fuck? I don't remember that.
That was like 2009. I think we watched that together.
Anyway, though, stay tuned. More videos are on their way. Sadly, not with Patrick though, because I'm leaving today. But more videos will be on the way. And as always, guys, if you'd like to be part of the Black Critic crew, you're not missing out on a single awesome video on this channel, please hit that subscribe button below. Like this video if you really enjoyed it. And I'm Tonality II, joined by my buddy Patrick Russell, Dual Dimensions, as the Black Critic Guy. Till then, peace, YouTube.